we're going to watch all of Silent Hill Ascension now. And just to be perfectly clear, Silent Hill Ascension. This was a disaster that premiered on Halloween 2023. I cursed everyone by playing Book of Memories and finishing all 500 zones and then burning it and saying there could never be anything worse than Book of Memories, like physically burning the cartridge. And then we got Silent Hill Ascension, and I was proved wrong. This was a scam, a microtransaction fueled scam of a project. We kept up with it for the first month, from when it premiered all the way up through the first couple of days of December. And in that entire month, there was so little story progression, character development. There were so many provable misconceptions and deception and lie into how the crowd interacts with this thing, this show. It was supposed to be like a live interactable show, and I guess technically at its core it is that, but it was so easily set up to be easily manipulated, and was clearly manipulated by the developers on the back end, that it was basically pointless as a experiment of like crowd determining choices and making a story unfold. It also had absolutely nothing to do with Silent Hill in the entire first month that we followed it. I did a huge recap on it. That video is up on YouTube if you want to check it out. That is like an 11-hour video or 10-hour video or something. Just covering that whole first month. So today's going to be a similar experience. But other than the title, essentially Silent Hill was not mentioned. And I put it to a vote at the end of the first month. Like, this basically has nothing to do with Silent Hill other than the title. It's terrible. The quality is awful. And I basically ran out of things I could say about it as it was going on for that first month. So I put it to a community vote. And I was like, okay, do we continue with this or do we not? Community voted no. And I agreed. And we ended it there. And I said, once the story is done and the whole thing can just be watched as a show, I'll come back and I'll watch it. And then just sort of sit down and watch the whole thing. We binge watch it and just sort of review the whole thing as a show. Because it was marketed to have this whole interactive element, but it was also equally marketed as like, you don't have to do any of that. You can just watch it when it's done as a TV show. So we're judging it as that today. What do you mean it's over? Did they cancel it? So it was not canceled. There was the intention from the very beginning was always for this to run twice. It runs the first time through the story, beginning to end, and then it starts New Game Plus. So New Game Plus just started. The New Game run, basically, the first run of the story, beginning to end, has finished. So now there's a New Game Plus that is starting, and that first episode airs on Sunday, I think. Don't care, don't give a shit. Maybe I'll review the whole New Game Plus once all of that is done. But for today's purposes, and for any foreseeable streams, don't give a shit. We're not going to be keeping up with New Game Plus for Ascension. We're going to get back to doing fun shit like cam hacking Silent Hill 3 and Silent Hill 4 randomizers and all sorts of like, interesting, fun things with games that are good. And not this. So that's where we're at. And Yeah. I turned off the music, my end of Small Sanctuary startup music, just to remind everybody how deafeningly quiet this app is. Like, that didn't change. It's been like 6 months, and there's still like nothing here. That's fucking great. They revamped the UI, I see, a little bit. It's still not very good. Yeah, still no sound effects like when you click on things. Yeah, award-winning features, by the way. This won two Webby Awards in the category for AI, Metaverse, and online features, or best features. How? Because the Webby Awards are a money-making scam where people can basically just pay for awards. It literally says that on the Wikipedia page for the Webbies. That's not me throwing out speculation. I looked it up on the Wikipedia page because somebody asked the exact same question in our Discord. They were like, how the fuck could this win any sort of awards? So I looked into the Webbies, and that is literally what it says on the Webbies Wikipedia page, is that it used to be a highly esteemed, yeah, there it is. Burak Auto just copied it over. I'll read it word for word what it says from the Wikipedia. In its early years, the award was hailed as the internet's highest honor and was associated with the phrase the Oscars of the internet. More recently, the organizers have been criticized for their pay-to-win policies, and the awards have been called a money-making scam. It's an award from a money-making scam to an app that was a money-making scam. Yeah. Incredible. So let's watch this. Hi, Rachel. Do you have anything to say before we start? Okay. That's the appropriate response. I don't know if the mic picked that up. She just went, mm-mm, and walked away. Appropriate response for anybody watching live, for anybody who may have clicked this video, maybe you did it accidentally. That's a completely understandable and appropriate response at this point. You can absolutely walk away and go, mm-mm. Nope. Now's your chance. Oh my god, spoilers. The fucking player doesn't even work right. Oh my god. Also, there's still no way to remove the little pop-up here for the chat. Is chat working? Can you actually say things in chat? Oh, what an improvement. The technological advancements. I had to make a new account, by the way, because I deleted my original.
Will it hurt?
At the end of the first month, yes, when it was voted not to come back to Ascension, I literally deleted my account that day.
Joy, truly free from all the ugliness inside us. That's why you came to us. To me. Okay.
Let me know if the audio and everything is okay.
Good.
Make sure everything looks okay, sounds okay. Don't want you to miss out on any. I want this to be a high quality experience for everybody.
But I am not lost. By hallowed blade, I draw out my affliction, and I am made pure. I know it hurts, but you're doing really well, Joy. Now I need your other arm, the wrist. What? You didn't respond to our other therapies. This is the only way.
Rachel, I appreciate everything the Foundation, what you've done for me, but I can't.
You have to stay and finish the oath. I know you're scared, but...
Yeah, finish
Rachel,
your
let
oath,
go.
Joy.
You can't keep running from this. The blight has to be cut out or it spreads.
Rachel, let go!
This isn't just about you. You have to finish the
Get
oath.
the hell away from me!
Other therapies, cutting her as a therapy? Yes, apparently. For the Foundation, it is.
What did you do, Joy?
I don't think Rachel ever
I didn't-
performs a single successful
What did you
ritual in
do?
this.
Please, make it stop. I'll do anything.
Great Purifier, grant us your protection and hold us in your loving
Please,
embrace.
make it stop, make it stop!
Joy, you need to listen to me. Joy, finish the oath. Now!
Free of fear, free of sorrow, free of...
Cinematic frame rate. And there's no quality options or anything as far as I'm aware through their website. Like through the actual browser app.
Medicine that doesn't work. Useless. Delete. Mama, quiet. Orson is downstairs.
It's been many months
Like a potato with legs.
since I've had to think about this fucking show. These
No luck
characters.
today, little one. I think wolves scared away all the rabbits.
Mama,
Here we are again in Stilldalen,
if you can hear me.
Silent Valley.
They're too loud!
You should go play in the yard. You don't need to hear all this.
Yeah, shoutouts to Norway.
Come on, Orson.
Eldrazi-kun.
You're not staying for dinner?
Welcome back. Thank you so much for the 19 months.
About me, but she needs to leave my son out of it.
Stay.
Very much
She
appreciated.
gets
Thank you,
cranky
thank you.
this time of day. She just needs her medicine.
Yeah, we're gonna get to see Tassadul again.
You're always defending her.
I'm all she has. She's sick and scared.
What are
That's
these accents?
You'll have to start standing up
Supposedly
for her sometime,
Norwegian.
Papa. You
Like
can't
these
keep-
are Norwegian actors.
Well, go on. She's waiting.
But according to some of our
all. Ingrid?
Norwegian viewers and
Ingrid.
regulars,
Then
even for like English as a second language type
Something's
Norway
wrong.
accent,
nothing's wrong.
they
You're
sound
just having
strange.
another bad night.
I can't
Lie
breathe.
back. I'll bring you water.
Hey, remember
Who's
good
calling?
Silent Hill?
Mette? That fitter.
No, it's
Everybody
not
has a
Mette.
Silent Hill,
It's
a
Astrid.
classic Silent Hill like Yamaoka
Lies.
song as their
I see
ringtone.
everything. How she looks at you. You're both waiting for the sickness to take me.
Hi, Astrid.
Where did the microtransactions come in? There were season passes that you
She's
could buy
quite
to
tired.
get cosmetics and things, as well as to get more influence points. And influence points could be
never had anything
purchased with
handed.
real money. Influence
did
points are
everything
basically
for this
what you
family.
use to
I
vote
worked,
for
I
story
cooked and
decisions.
cleaned, and what did I get for it? Drit.
Why would I want
Ungrateful
cosmetics?
children, a
Because your
useless
avatar can
husband,
show
and
up in
damn-
the show. You could win a drawing and
I'll
your
be
character
calm,
would show up in a
You'll
scene
do what
in
you
the
always
show.
done.
So
Hide.
you could get
You
cosmetics
lie
and
to
stuff
our
to dress them
daughters.
up how you want.
Tell them it wasn't your fault. But they'll see through you. They'll see their father for what he is. A useless, filthy little coward. You'll tell them you loved me. Maybe they'll believe you. But then they'll find out. They'll learn it was all
Did anyone
lie.
you know actually make it
You
in?
loved
A few people
her.
actually, yeah. Tassadul,
Always her.
right there, the
But she'll
VIP,
never love you
the
back.
legend.
No. Who would ever love a yavel such as you?
Tassadul, you want to explain for
And look
chat
at what I get.
how
This is
you
your
managed to
fault,
make it in?
Carl. It's your fault.
and how it's totally legit and not
Wolves
a
again.
manipulated
I'll need to take care of it.
Completely
Yes.
manipulated
Go
drawing.
handle it. Go and hide, you coward. Go.
The fact that with a lot of tweaking, they could have made a legit fun concept, and instead we got this. The absolute, like, core idea is not bad. Like, it's basically sort of like a D&D session almost, where you've got a general outline of a story, but your viewers, your players, determine where the story goes. And that concept, like, is fine. I don't think it applies and works very well for Silent Hill. And this, as an attempt at that format with Silent Hill, is also just an especially bad attempt at what would already be a difficult thing to pull off. That's probably the nicest way I can put this. I mean, look at it. Look at this. Look at these animations. And these are, like, repeated multiple times throughout the show. His little run. It looks like the 3D Berserk anime from 2018 or whatever. Wow, New Mori looks sick. Yeah, shoutouts to Behavior. A lot of these models and scenes are made by Behavior,
Oh my god.
the makers of acclaimed award-winning game Dead by Daylight.
I tried. I'm sorry.
Silent Hill Ascension. That's a very, like, Silent Hill Downpour. That feels like the Silent Hill Downpour title drop after the bus crash.
Rachel! Make it stop, Rachel, please!
Rachel. Whoa, easy. You're okay. You're safe.
Is she... Where's Joy?
The police took her.
I'm a police officer.
Am I?
The coroner believes it was an aneurysm. Natural causes.
Yami, thank you so much for the 27 months.
What did you see?
It was...
Very much appreciated.
I
Yeah,
don't
the
know
poor
how
man's
to
D&D
describe it.
session. When's the orgy?
wasn't
Need to see
human.
that train to save a little girl.
Nope.
Yeah, so I didn't keep up.
More like vines.
I
that
didn't
hung
keep
from
up
it.
with this show
Radcliffe,
after the first
Chapter
month,
7. The
and
purifier came
we
cloaked
swore
in
it off.
roots and vines.
But I still follow
This is a good
other
thing.
Silent Hill people
A
who
blessing.
would watch it and
Joy was
occasionally
right,
post
and
crazy
the
things that were
purifier
going on.
chose you to protect us
And
before it could
yeah,
spread.
apparently there's an orgy later.
Krista,
How can we trust what she says? You know her story. Everything she touches turns to shit.
I didn't
Maybe
make it
she
that
didn't
far.
even see the purifier. Maybe it was the...
do not say that.
So we'll
name
all
here.
get to experience that for the first time
This isn't
together.
for us to decide. Rachel will testify before the elders.
The elders?
They'll hear your testimony and render a judgment.
Xavier, what is there even to discuss? Joy is dead, and she's responsible.
Krista, enough!
Silence, Krista.
Rachel, the elders can help you, but you have
Is
to
this some
tell
type
them
of a new
the
cult or
truth.
something? Yes. It's a
Lies breed
completely
blight.
unrelated
Joy was
cult.
blighted.
It is not the
I
order.
can't
It is
lose
the
you too.
foundation.
But what if I'm not blessed or
It's got
cursed or...
different people who are
What if this
founders
was
of
just
it,
an accident?
You witnessed a miracle tonight.
different beliefs.
How could that be an accident? Now go home. Spend time with your family.
Coincidentally, there is
Meditate
just
on the
another
teachings.
cult.
I'm sure
And
the
this is
right
in
words will
Pennsylvania,
come
by
to
the
you.
way. Not anywhere near Maine, where Silent Hill is. Hey, here's the King Wash coin laundry. That is just a completely bought and dropped in asset.
Hey, you missed the mess.
I read a
There was
huge
leak in
like
one of the machines.
documentary style
Is something wrong?
It's
article
Joy.
Detailing
Eric,
this laundromat
she's gone.
and all of the painstaking love and care that went into making
She's
this
gone.
asset, just so
And I
that
couldn't do anything about it.
you know,
Rach.
Game Studios can
I'm so sorry.
pay $80 for it and throw it into some garbage like this.
I was helping her. It was working.
Yeah, I know. How did it
Also,
happen?
everyone's favorite characters,
You know I can't tell you that.
Eric and
You
Rachel.
only just joined the Foundation.
Who's everyone's
Oh, has
favorite
anyone told
character in
Toby
Silent
yet?
Hill Ascension?
Rach, Joy was his sister.
I hate
The
everyone.
only family he had left.
How about you?
I don't need him making things worse for me. For us.
Rachel, what the hell happened tonight?
I'll write a note.
My favorite
and
is
you'll take it to
Tassadul.
him.
Oh shit, I'm sorry.
What are you
I take
gonna
it back.
say?
Tassadul. Tassadul.
I don't know.
Favorite
a
character is
Foundation prayer?
absolutely
It might bring him
Tassadul.
some comfort.
The drug dealer blood
Toby hates
mage,
the Foundation.
But Joy didn't.
who is in
We were
exactly
helping
like
her,
2
and she believed
scenes
we could help him too.
and never
It's
seen
what she'd
again.
want.
And they never expanded on
What
that
about
as far
money?
as I know.
His job doesn't pay well.
They
and
never
it'd be difficult to
expanded
cover
on
the
him.
funeral costs.
They never.
Toby's
That was the
proud.
most interesting
might take it
character
as
in
an
the entire
insult.
thing.
Maybe I should just apologize.
For what, Rach?
I recruited Joy. I feel responsible for her, okay?
The drug dealer blood mage. We'll get there.
Look,
There's your
whatever you
cliffhanger
decide,
for anybody
I'm behind you
who
100%.
didn't
If he
watch
freaks
this
out,
the first
I'll
time
try to calm
around
him down,
when it
and
came
If
out.
he's satisfied, I'll tell him it was all your idea.
There's
I
your
know, and I appreciate it.
your
Just let me
cliffhanger
think
to
on it,
hang out and
okay?
watch this with us.
Yeah, okay.
You got to stick it out for Tassadul.
Te amo.
Te amo.
No habla español. It's bread. No, really. That's the reference. There's even a sticker that you can unlock in the mobile app
Why are you sitting in the dark?
that says, "It's bread."
Papa, are you okay?
I didn't get a good look at it.
Remember Silent Hill 3?
Thing that killed the goats. Ran to check on your mother.
The
Papa?
totes my goats.
Where's Mama?
I tried. I tried. I tried my best.
Orson, I need to talk to Grandpa. Why don't you go say hi to Grandma?
No.
Why don't you go poke Grandma's corpse with a stick?
Papa, did something happen? Oh God. Oh God.
Should we ride the tractor today, Lilivan?
Totally not AI generated dialogue. I mean, Jacob Naveau denied the use of AI in any of the scenario writing,
Orson,
although they
Angel,
also won 2 Webby
don't come in
Awards
here. Go back
for
downstairs.
AI, Metaverse, and Best Features.
Oh God, Mama. How did it?
And by
Papa.
one, I mean they bought 2 Webby
Did you-
Awards. For AI, of all things.
It's not my fault. I tried everything I could. I really did. I took good care of her.
Tried what? CPR? Did you even call the paramedics?
Yami, thank you so much for the 27 months.
I need to call an ambulance now.
Poor
I
man's.
already called.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
I'll wait with Orson.
I forgot we read that. Yeah, we'll get to the train.
The ambulance should be here soon.
Okay. Let's get the place looking presentable.
Mama would kill me if we let them see it like this. What's this?
Drugs.
That's your mother's painkiller.
Papa, she didn't take any injections. What did you give her?
It's just... I was just trying to help.
Be more specific.
Paramedics are coming,
Be more
Papa,
suspicious
and
about it.
police.
I almost said
If they see this,
suspicious.
what do you think they'll say?
Just get rid of it.
Papa, this is evidence. I'd be incriminating myself.
Then put it back where you found it. Maybe they won't even see it.
Papa,
Get used to that sort of dialogue, by the way,
did you
where
have something to do with Mama's
somebody
death?
presents somebody else with exactly 3 options.
If you want to turn it into them, so be it. I would never...
Get rid of it, put it back where you found it, or turn it in. There's a lot of really awkward dialogue writing like that for the sake of the quote-unquote audience choices.
Astrid. I think the ambulance is here. I should go downstairs.
The delivery in the "I am devastated, so sad my own mother died." Yeah, she kind of gets over the shock of seeing her mother dead. I think we timed it. It's like 10 seconds exactly. And then she immediately just, okay, got over that. I'm just going to be suspicious of her father now. Who's this? This is Toby. We just left Norway. Now we're back in Pennsylvania. This is Toby in the bathroom of the bar in Hope's Junction. He's like the town drunk. He's the brother. So the voicemail he just listened to, that was Joy, the woman who got killed by the monster in the first scene.
Joy.
So he's her brother. There's a cameo character, the bartender. The bartender in the bar is like always a different cameo character.
Toby, I need to talk to you.
Yeah, you do. Your wife is pulling my sister deeper into her goddamn cult.
My wife killed
And it
your
needs
sister.
to stop.
But
She's
let's still
dead.
be friends.
Rachel?
No. Your sister.
This is one of the most frustrating
Joy.
character dynamics
No.
in the whole show.
Joy's fine. I just heard from her.
I'm so sorry.
These characters and everyone around them continually
You need to know Rachel
insist
and I
that
both
these
really
two
care
characters are
about Joy.
best
You're
friends.
serious. How did it happen?
And they never do anything other than yell at each other
I'm not
or hit
sure.
each other.
What do you mean you're not sure?
Rachel said it was some kind of accident. Wanted me to give you this.
And then you immediately have a scene where they're like, you guys, go talk to him. You're best friends.
What the hell is this supposed to be?
It's a prayer. For you. From the Foundation.
Is there anyone else in the town apart from
Rachel
the main
thought it would bring you
characters?
some-
Oh yeah, there's tons of
I don't know.
random other
Comfort.
people that are usually
Comfort.
portrayed by
Are you
cameos.
fucking kidding me, Hernandez?
She said Joy would have wanted you to have it.
It's
What the hell does
viewer-created
Rachel know
avatars
about what Joy wanted?
that
okay.
show up in the
fine.
show as background
We're
characters.
friends.
So like
That's what I
random
fucking
people that you
think
see in
of
the
when
background of the bar
wife's
and like the
cult.
bartender and shit like that. That's almost always a viewer-created avatar. That animation when he sits down, I swear to God, that's the like Oblivion, Elder Scrolls Oblivion sit-down animation.
Xavier?
It's so stiff looking. Yeah, it goes without saying the punch looks terrible. They won awards though, so we can't complain about the show. Yeah, and one of the awards was a People's Choice Award. People. not AI, chose this over other things.
Rachel, is everything all right? More visions?
Some of the runner-ups in the category for the Webbies, the Webbies category that this won the 2 awards in.
I don't feel that way.
One of them was just like a commercial for an electric car or something like that. One of them was like a museum interactable exhibit or something.
But I've never had to worry about that with you.
This stuff like completely unrelated.
I knew there was something special about you, Rachel. And now
Approximately how many hours of content is the entirety of Ascension? About 10.5 hours.
Krista?
What if you're wrong? What if she did see a monster?
The pestilent.
Xavier, you know why we came to this town. What we're here to do? Can we really risk everything on a...
There were all these people suffering from Silent Hill syndrome or whatever it's called. The Silent Hill phenomenon? I guess if you treat the short message and the Silent Hill phenomenon the way they're sort of trying to rebrand for the new Silent Hill stuff, then yes. This is basically a different... It's not happening in Silent Hill. It's not related to Silent Hill, but it's similar enough to the things that have happened historically in Silent Hill that other people from the outside would look at this event and classify it as a Silent Hill phenomenon.
I sent Eric to break the
That's
news.
what the note in the short message would imply.
I sent him a foundation.
Assuming that any of this is even remotely connected, which it probably isn't.
He tore it up
because
and
it's totally different studios and everything like that.
And you were expecting a different response? Everyone knows how much Toby hates the Foundation. Toby needs to be dealt with, Xavier. He'll only cause problems for us.
Yes, I know.
Hey, Yomi.
There's
Sorry about the stupid question.
Eric's
Is this a
been
new
asking
game?
questions.
This is an interactive TV show that premiered last year
Eric is only an initiate.
and just wrapped up
Initiates are impressionable, but also
a couple days ago.
That makes them dangerous.
So now we're watching the whole thing. It's
He's
basically
also
just a
my
TV
husband.
show to watch now.
You've always taught us that marriage is a temple built on trust.
You are a blessed protector, Rachel. Called by the Purifier. Eric won't understand that. You'll have to figure out how to field his questions without
Interactive in heavy air
risk.
quotes. Exactly. Also, hey,
Can
baby
you
blue.
do this?
I can try.
I'm certain you can.
They're trying to play up Xavier as like this kind-hearted.
Would you like some coffee or
like
something?
the
I
kind-hearted
gave up
cult
coffee
member
when I was
with a
pregnant.
conscience. And
never went
I'm
back.
pretty sure it's his call later
I
on where
understand
he's
that I have
like,
been feeling ill
we
for a
have to
while.
have an orgy to
That's right.
find the children
Last
or
night
something
worse
like
than
that.
usual?
I don't know. I didn't
I'm
watch
not-
that part. I've only heard what
I'd have to
other
think.
people
There
have
will
said
be an
about it.
autopsy. So we'll have answers soon enough. Many I spoke to had strong feelings about your wife.
She's not even buried, and people are already dragging her name.
She had her defenders. Mostly those who were scared of her. And I think it's safe to say most in this town would celebrate one less Johansson.
Oh yeah, everybody in the town
Could
hates the
barely even find
Johanssons.
someone to do the autopsy.
It's a small town. Grudges live longer than people.
I'm pretty sure I know
And
why that
you,
is.
detective.
That's another thing I haven't
you
seen in
glad
the
to see
show, but
one
I've heard
less
other
Johansson?
people talk about it. Where they
I loved
finally
her,
explain why everyone hates the Johanssons.
I shouldn't have to prove that to you.
I guess I'll take your word for it. For
Uh,
now, anyway.
supposedly,
We're in mourning.
we keep seeing the character Ava
If I
show
have
up.
other
And
questions,
for the first
I'll be in
month, I was speculating whether or not Ava was real.
I'll walk you out.
And eventually it turns out
Your
that
father's
Ava
memory
was
may be hazy,
real.
but mine's not. I know what kind of person
That
Ava
she was the oldest
There's something you're
Johansson
hiding,
daughter.
Either of you.
But
You need to tell me.
she
We'll find out either way.
apparently shot a bunch of people. She was like a public shooter. And so she, like, Astrid killed her and burned her body, and now her ghost haunts the farm. That's what I've heard. I haven't seen any of that yet. So we'll see if it actually goes that direction, if that's the correct interpretation or whatever.
Ah, shit.
My withering.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, honey. My withering is just acting up
I
again.
burned myself.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I gotta take
Hey,
my
about the thing with
aglofitol.
Toby, I hope I didn't get you in trouble with anybody at the Foundation. For what it's worth,
Your
I
theory
think
was
you were
half
to
right if
send
that's
him
the
after her.
case? Yeah.
Maybe some small part of it got through to him.
Xavier's dealing with bigger problems than Toby.
Like,
Joy's
yeah.
death. You never did tell me.
She's
what
got to
happened.
be related somehow.
Joy died
It's so
during a
weird
ceremony. It was just her and
paying
me,
attention
and
to
then
her dialogue now
we
in
weren't
these early
alone.
episodes
There
again.
was something else. something
Because
right
Carl
under Radcliffe's
talks about her
writings.
as if she's like not
But you can't
related.
tell anyone. Xavier needs this to stay quiet until we can figure out what really happened. Understand?
Oh no! The fucking... I forgot about the XCOM faceless alien lumbering through the entryway.
We need to go to the Foundation. Now.
What?
Naked grandpa walking around.
Go get Faith. I'll pack.
Rach, it's the middle of the night and...
Eric, I know this brings up bad memories for you, but we're not safe here.
Well, what do we tell Faith? I guess we could lie and
What do we
say it's
tell
a
Faith?
sleepover. At least you wouldn't be scared.
What would you do out of these
Xavier doesn't
three
approve of
options that
keeping
I'm
the truth
going
from
to present to you?
We can tell her a story from the scriptures.
Sweetheart.
Xavier keeps copies in his
What
library.
would you do?
Some of those stories are pretty scary, Rach.
Eric, you're not helping.
Don't feel too strongly about any of those one options so that we don't influence the
Time to
people.
debate
I
this.
mean,
I just need you and Faith to do
uh,
exactly what I say. It'll be better for everyone.
normal human speech.
I don't know if she'll listen. She's been acting out again.
Eric, go!
Yeah, okay.
I'm awkwardly going.
Hello?
Would it kill you to answer your phone? Look, I know how you feel about all this. The Foundation's really helped me. Rachel's helped me. Anyway, tonight's a big night for me. I'm a little nervous. Wanted to hear your voice, I guess. Please don't hate me. I'm happy.
Bullshit.
You couldn't even answer your fucking phone.
Joy?
Now he's being tormented
Never
by
cared about me. That's why I joined them. To
ghost
find a
joy,
real family.
guilt joy.
Then open your eyes.
Oh God! Joy! No!
Hey, Phantom Cigar.
Wait, what? This isn't real. Get your shit together, Toby.
Hope you're well.
know that'll
I
never
think
happen.
other than having to watch
You're just gonna stand there.
roughly 11 hours of Ascension today,
What they did to me?
other than
After
that,
what
pretty good.
She did.
Rachel did this?
First, she screwed you over, destroyed your life. Then she took mine. She needs to answer for what she's done, Toby. You deserve
At least the
truth.
body isn't covered by choices this time.
Rachel,
Yeah,
the
the reveal
Foundation,
of
they
Joy's
won't say a
body,
goddamn
like Toby
thing.
seeing Joy's
I
body,
warned you about them, Joy.
when this aired live,
But I'll show everyone
it
what
was
they
blocked by a
I
pop-up
can prove it now.
for audience choices for a different choice,
Even
an
if you
unrelated
had it,
choice.
Who would believe you? Or Toby Sorelli, the town drunk, the fuck up.
Then what do I do?
Weren't ghosts
Please,
banned? Ghosts are
Tell me
banned.
what to do.
They weren't.
Burn it
They were
down.
told specifically by Konami they can't do
All
ghosts.
of it.
I forget what the
I can't. They'd kill me.
actual explanation is, like what
Joy,
they write them off as being trauma images. Probably something like
What?
that.
Structurally,
Oh yeah,
the liquid in
meanwhile,
the syringe
Astrid is a
appears to be
scientist.
An opiate.
And
Morphine.
a pretty goddamn good one.
She wasn't prescribed morphine.
Where she can just look at a liquid from a syringe
Hello?
under a microscope and identify it.
Is everything
Like,
alright?
oh, it's morphine. Who is she talking to? I guess she's leaving like a voice record while
It's
she
hard to
works.
say. Orson could have been pushed or provoked. Maybe it was self-defense.
Oh yeah, Orson bit somebody. Did that ever go anywhere? I guess we'll find out. I guess all questions will be answered
Did I catch you at a bad time?
over the next 10
About
hours.
the report on the C1 cultures you wanted.
Yay!
okay?
Red hair,
Some
ponytail, white
drama at
t-shirt
Orson's
man.
school. Apparently,
This is
misbehaved.
like default
But it
avatar.
could have been the other kids who started it, for all I know.
When you
One
first
parent
make
to
an
another.
account, you have like
If you let 'em
4
off
different
easy
things
now,
you can choose
it'll
from.
just lead to more bad behavior
So this
down
is
the
a very
road.
common
like my mother.
combination.
If
And
anyone in my family stepped
a lot of
even
people
toe
didn't
out of
bother
line, we never heard the end of
customizing
it.
their avatar or
I
anything.
never wanted that for Orson.
So
And he's so impressionable at this
very,
age.
very
Takes a
often
lot of work to not
you're going to
become
see
our
characters
parents.
that look exactly like this. That
Maybe
are
I'll
meant
just
to be
give him a
different
good talking
characters.
to.
In my experience,
But they're
lectures are
voiced by the
sometimes not
same
enough.
person because they
One
only
ear out
have
the other.
one, excuse me,
What would you do?
2 voice actors
Something he'd understand.
for the cameo
Like taking
characters.
away his
One male
toys.
voice actor, one female voice actor.
He'd hate it. And I'm not sure I could handle
So they
the
all sound the
tears.
same.
We
And
all
many
have to
times they
learn that
look the
actions have
same.
consequences.
And eventually the audience started kind of trolling and making a very common combination of this like really puffy blonde hair with big framed glasses and like a beard or a mustache or
Orson?
something like that.
How about something to eat, yeah?
And
We
you
have,
start seeing characters like that
Oh. Eva,
later
when
on.
did you get here?
Mama kicked me out of the house again. Okay if I stay?
Yeah, of course. What do you have there, Lilleven?
See, this whole
You
interaction
got
is
in a
so
bit of
weird.
trouble at school, I hear.
If
Well, we'll stay out of
supposedly
trouble
what
here,
I know
won't we?
about Ava is
He
true.
beat someone, huh? When I was his age, I used to bite kids at school too.
Grandpa? Where's Grandma?
That is still such a
That's complicated,
weird sounding
Lilleven.
line. Like out of all of the
You haven't
dialogue,
told
there are
him?
specific lines
I was his age when I lost my grandma.
that just
My papa's mama.
I
Oh,
don't
he was
think
so
you could
sad.
get that performance out
He
of a
didn't
human
come out
being.
of his room for a week.
Like
That
how is
made
that
Mama
not
angry.
AI or at
I
least
kept asking
so
why. Papa
digitally
was
altered?
So sad, and
It's like what's the
that made
point?
her
Just
even
do another
angrier.
take or
So-
whatever.
finally she told me
What did she tell you?
Is all of this
what she
pre-rendered?
thought I needed to hear.
Supposedly
Where's Grandma?
when
You
it was
know that
all
your grandma
airing
loves you very
live,
much, right?
it was rendering in a game
Just like I
engine
love you.
in real time
And
and
your
then
mama
being
does too.
broadcast
Where did she go?
via the app.
Well, you see, Lilleven, Grandma,
Supposedly, that's the
died.
official
Am
word
I
on it.
going to die too?
I don't buy it.
not for a
I
very
think
long
it's
time.
pre-rendered.
I don't think
I
I
think there's
want
only
to.
so many variations
worry
on
about
scenes that
now,
were made.
Lilleven. Can you
And a
watch
lot
in
of them
moment?
are extremely minor, like literally
Orson?
just
Grandpa's going out
sentence
to
of
check on the
dialogue
farm.
difference or so.
Will you be okay playing with your toys for a few minutes?
I'll play with Zane.
Who is saying?
But I imagine most of it
The man in the fog.
was already done ahead of time, and there was already evidence that they were preemptively choosing certain pathways and certain story branches even before the like community voting was over. They would show thumbnails for like next week's episode or tomorrow's episode or whatever,
promise we'll go home soon.
showing the results
just
of a
need to be here
choice
for a little
that
while.
had not happened yet,
I'll go grab
like
the rest
had
of our
not
things.
finished yet. And then,
set up
oh,
some
somehow
packs in the
when the
meeting room.
vote concludes, it
You and Eric
lined
can-
up perfectly with what the thumbnail showed.
Remember the story about the girl in the stone castle? Her mommy
So it's
and
like,
daddy took her to a
it was
big
rigged.
castle
It was
so
rigged
she'd
from
be
the start.
Safe from the monsters outside. And remember who was there to protect them?
they wanted to play this off like it's this big
Are there
technological,
monsters outside?
you know,
Like in the story?
Faith.
mixture of media, interactive, you know, media in a whole new way.
Okay.
They wanted to make it seem like it was much more than it actually
I saw
was.
something again tonight.
So they talked up a lot of these
I don't know what it was.
selling points more than
Xavier, I'm afraid.
what they actually were.
Not just for me, but for my family too.
Rachel. You are.
Yeah, they played the
walking
wrong scenes.
miracle. The Purifier would never let anything harm you.
What about Eric?
A few times.
What about her?
And there were times where they specifically said like they were
Maybe I am
manipulating
Krista is wrong.
in order to show
sure.
something.
But how
Like
do you know?
they specifically
How do
went
any of
in
us
and
know
were
if
like,
any
"Oh,
of
we
this is
manipulated stuff so that we could show this chase
The elders
sequence,
will help us make sense of all
QTE
of
sequence
this.
at the end of an episode."
Rachel, we
Even
love
though
you.
those QTE segments are
never
not
let
going to be
anything happen to you or
in
your
this.
family.
Like while we go through and rewatch
You
it,
believe that, right?
those scenes had absolutely nothing to
course
do
I
with the
do.
story anyway, and none of
Good.
them are included in like
get
what's
some rest.
archived in the actual episodes. So that was all pointless. All the interactive stuff was pointless.
Pow! Pow!
Pow! Right in the kisser.
Hey,
By the
Angel.
way, one of the creative
I need to
director
talk to you about something.
of this project, Stephen Bugai,
You know how you've been staying home from school?
his children
That's because of what happened on
play
your last day.
the
Do you remember?
roles of
You
the
ask
two
a lot
main
of questions,
children
Mama.
from the
That's
families. So
Is that a friend in
Orson
your class?
is his son,
Imaginary
and
friend.
Faith, Rachel and Eric's
Orson.
daughter, is
Your teacher
Stephen
said
Bugai's
you got
daughter.
into an argument.
So
And
the
you
director
picked
of this
another
just
kid?
put his own kids in as like the two main child characters
Orson,
that apparently the whole
Look at
plot
me.
revolves around.
you bit someone. That's not okay. Ever. Do you understand me? When you hurt people,
Hey,
it hurts
Sonny.
you in your heart.
Welcome.
And it hurts my heart too. You don't want to hurt me, do you?
Orson's
right.
sad.
I think that's enough.
I know that was hard to hear. But that ugliness, that's how your grandma behaved. I don't think we need any more angry, mean old ladies in the world.
Why is this giving me Heavy
We need
Rain
more good
acting?
little boys.
Oh, Heavy Rain
More
acting is a
Orsons.
masterpiece next to this shit.
Okay.
That is masterful cinema compared to this.
I can make us some tea. The water's still hot.
No, Papa.
You did a hard thing up there, talking things out with Orson. But I think he'll be a better person for it.
I don't want to hear your review of my parenting skills.
All right?
Yeah, that was like an audience choice.
Then what do you want to
How
talk about?
how does Astrid
The
discipline
syringe.
Orson there?
The one I found in Mama's room.
And she had the
What would you
heart-to-heart
say?
talk.
I ran a test on it, Papa. It was filled with morphine. Is that what you were giving, Mama? Is that what killed her?
Why do you bring this up again? Why can't you let it go?
See,
I already
this
told
apparently
you that
turns
wasn't
into
my
nothing
fault.
and gets explained later.
Everything for your mother.
So why is Carl so defensive
Because we were
here?
scared of her.
Father, you don't know anything. You don't know what it was like, what she could do, what...
Are you fucking serious? I know exactly what it was like. Every day in this house was torture. And you, Papa, you didn't do a goddamn thing about it.
There's that repeated animation.
God, I...
The fucking animation
Where are
where
you
he
going?
throws stuff. Anytime there's like a quick animation
fit to be
with a
around
lot
me.
of impact,
Leave the boy, Astrid.
someone throwing,
You don't
someone
know what you're
punching,
saying.
anything like that, it always
I
especially
thought all
looks
of this
bad.
shit was finally gone with Mama. I was wrong.
I'm sorry. I don't know what happened.
I've heard a lifetime of empty apologies.
This guy literally
I
has
don't
the
need
face of
another.
the guy from Heavy Rain, speaking of.
Astrid,
He does look
please.
very similar.
I'm sorry.
I don't think it's modeled after the same actor. I think
I'm
it's
sorry.
just a similar looking actor. Oh, there's the
Please.
Gradius and Silent Hill 2 sound effects.
Make it stop.
While she's playing the arcade game. Little Konami sound effects and a previous Silent Hill game sound effect.
See you back at the house? I could cook and...
We need to go back.
What?
Let's go, Faith.
Ghost
Grab
in the
your stuff.
dryer.
Wait, Rach. Talk to me.
Mommy? Faith, honey, can you go check on the machines over there? Go see if anyone left anything behind.
You trusted me enough to tell me what really happened to Joy, and you can trust me now. So tell me, what's going on? Hey, look at me. Rach, you can talk to me.
Is the monster for the viewer only because he doesn't
I
even try to
can't.
tell her he saw
Rach,
that?
come on.
He just throws a
It's
pan at her.
me.
Well, he
I'm not
can't
gonna tell
say
anybody
specifically
You're asking me to break my
that
oath.
he saw it or
I just
not,
want to help.
because later on
said
it'll be
no.
an audience choice of whether
You're
or
right.
not he says
I'm
that
sorry.
to somebody else, because he's going to get investigated by the police. And there was an audience decision of like, does he say that that's the reason why he's doing things, is he's seeing these monsters? So he can't just do the normal human thing of saying, I'm seeing things, you know, to the daughter. He doesn't explain why he threw the pan, because that would fuck up other audience participation moments later. See, that's what's so stupid about all of this. Like, as bad as all of it actually is, the fact that
Detective,
it was so
please come in.
easily manipulated that it's essentially just rigged from the
Can
beginning
I-
anyway.
Can I get you something
Why
to
bother
drink?
with any of that? Why
No,
bother
thank
with any of the shitty writing? I
Well,
mean, it would probably
then
still
yeah.
be shitty writing, because I don't
Why
think
did
the
you call
writers
me?
for this are just particularly good writers.
I,
But they were extra
wanted to show you
hindered
this.
by the fact that they're trying to
I
write
found
around
this in my
all of
mother's
these
room.
like audience
more-
choices and different branches.
She wasn't prescribed
So
it.
characters can't really commit
If this
to
syringe was full,
feeling or
been
mentioning
a
certain
lethal
things
dose.
or feeling a certain way about
You think your
things
father did this?
because it would
I'm not
affect
sure.
other choices
should
down
have
the
given
line
this to me
or
earlier.
previous choices that were made.
But I understand your hesitation.
So they have to write everything in sort of
can't
these
keep
like
it easy.
disjointed little
it helps us know the
scenes that
truth,
don't really
Do
connect
what
to
you
each
have to
other.
do.
I intend to.
Like, even the best of writers are going to struggle to make a story seem good under that kind of condition. So it's like, if you're going to make it so obviously rigged, don't even bother with that. Just make an animated show. They shouldn't have even bothered with the interactive element.
How'd they die?
This could have just been a shitty
You probably think that
Netflix
was
show
me
or
too.
something.
I just said he talked with your daughter. She was very helpful.
At least it would have given them
time
a
to put you
cohesive
away.
story to write
Surprised?
without having to worry about,
Why haven't you
you know,
arrested me
we
then?
can't write our characters committing to
If
anything.
you had any excuse to put those cuffs on me, you would.
Oh, here's some of the dialogue where he sounds different.
You can't. Even you don't think you have the evidence.
That doesn't sound like the
You're
same
just trying
actor.
to scare me into confessing.
I'm giving you a
His
chance
accent's
to tell the
totally
truth
different.
before the autopsy does it for you.
What if the truth is impossible to believe?
Like what?
His voice is deeper.
Anokin did it? Look, just save us the trouble and admit you killed her. Denial won't hold up against evidence.
The evidence you don't have.
Yet.
Like, there's straight up times where characters don't sound the same from scene to scene. Random wolves howling. That's a recurring
really.
thing.
Tell them the truth.
When he very
Everything
first
will be fine.
came back into
Xavier,
the house, when they very first introduced
Rachel
Norway,
Hernandez, we're ready for you.
they had him saying that wolves were scaring away all the rabbits. Oh my god, here it is. Withering. Oh yeah, they've just been hanging on to Joy's corpse this whole time. Apparently nobody's looking for her. The police haven't come by. Or the
Yes,
Foundation is just so
kneel.
powerful.
Whether out of penitence
They control
or
the
humility,
police.
we must decide how to judge the work of your hands. Rachel Hernandez, your sister Joy is dead, but you are very much alive. Why is this?
Why
Look
did
at
you
me,
fuck
Rachel.
up this hard?
Something killed her.
Something. We'll need more to go on than that. I don't know. One of our own is dead. We demand answers.
I don't have them. I've replayed that day in my mind again and again, and I can't ignore my doubts.
Explain.
I did everything correctly, exactly as I was taught. Every
She was
word,
already
every
explaining.
cut. But what I saw, it was something new, something we don't understand.
Are you questioning the veracity of our teachings?
You questioning the
I'm just
veracity of
saying,
our
what if we missed
teachings?
something? What if there's something we don't know?
This order has stood for centuries. How dare you?
Though I am not pleased to see that your
Oh my
faith has
god.
wavered.
These
I think it
performances.
would be unwise to ignore
These are the
this.
best performances.
A ritual of clarity is required.
Barbara, given the outcome
How
of the
dare
last
you.
ritual, is this our wisest course of action?
I believe it is.
And why is that?
Because the withering must be stopped.
A withering? Here?
Yeah, he said the line.
You may not have seen them, but
He
she
said the line.
You've seen them, haven't you, Rachel? Visions, harbingers, lurking in that cramped, stifling
I had to make a
place
new
between
account
sleep
so that we could
and
watch
awake.
this. Like I said, I deleted my original account
know because of
after the
Radcliffe's
first
writings.
month.
And now I know
So my
it's
new
spreading
account
here.
is called
This
A
town
Withering.
stands on a cliff. As more are
A
drawn into
withering?
the pestilence blighted web, it flutters further over the abyss. We have to stop it. You have to stop it.
I will do whatever is required of me.
Good. You will need to choose someone to help you perform the ritual. Someone who will bring you strength.
The girl's husband. He's still new to our order, but a marriage
They're
bond
still
is
working their
powerful.
way up to the sex rituals.
Krista should do it.
Me?
She and Rachel haven't always seen eye to eye, but friction can yield perseverance.
I can also make myself
See,
available.
knowing that there are
consider
sex
our bond is only
sex
still
rituals
in
that
its infancy.
play a part in this later, it makes
I need
Xavier's
time to
comment more creepy. Like, does he think that is a sex ritual? Impact the story for free, even though it's already over. All right. Next episode. Keep on rolling, baby. You know what time it is. Silent Hill Ascension. A lot of nothing happened in the first episode. It introduced the two locations, the two families,
Cultural
and
looks
Joy's
healthy.
death.
Closely watching the calcium
That's basically
buildup.
it.
But for the next trial,
Those are the only real key moments. Joy's death
what are you doing
and
here?
I went to your place. I
Ingrid's
thought I was
death.
taking Orson up to take him to school, but he wasn't there. I was waiting.
how many
there scared
episodes
to
are there?
death.
20,
I
I
took him
think.
to school. I told you. I don't want you around him right now.
I should have known. Haugen told me you gave her the syringe. You really
The whole thing from start to finish is like
Was Mama
10
such
and a half
terrible
hours.
person that she deserved to be murdered?
Who will watch him while you're working?
I'll figure something out. But it won't involve you.
I'm sorry you got roped into this. I'm sorry about a lot of things.
I'm sorry I threw that frying pan at your
Begging
face,
for it. Please, Astrid.
but I still can't tell you why I did it.
Can we just move on?
I'm not Mama. I'm not looking for you to grovel. I need you to do better as a grandfather than you did as a father. But it's too late for that. I don't want you around my son. And that's final.
Disgusting is right. Yoshio, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome to the train wreck.
Can I get another drink?
You look like hell.
Hey, more cameo characters. Also,
You,
I just
need
realized. So, one of the reasons why I'm on the actual like website for this is because in the like Tubi archived episodes, because you can watch this on fucking Tubi, it removes all of the like names of cameo characters and stuff. And originally, when we went back and watched the recaps and stuff, I'm pretty sure if you watched on the website, all of those cameo viewer names were still here. But it looks like those have been removed for these episodes. So that kind of sucks. We needed to know that Captain Wacky, or whoever, I know that was somebody's username for one of the cameos. We needed to know who this was, because this was some random viewer cameo. Like, they make such a big deal about the cameos. Like, your character gets acknowledged, and you get to be in Silent Hill canon forever. And then they just take your fucking name out of it anyway. So it's like, you didn't do anything. You got to design the character, I guess. But otherwise, yeah, you're not in the credits. They don't put your name there.
To talk to?
I'm not interested in joining your fucking cult.
Hey, relax. I'm not with them.
Considering
said
people
that there
actually
in
paid
years.
money to be a cameo, removing the name is kind of bullshit. It's complete bullshit. Because, yeah, the majority of people who showed up probably invested some money in order to do so. Although we do know that a few of our viewers and
what you need to hear.
other people were able to
Then
make cameos
they
who
make you
did
need
not pay any money into it.
When my partner died at the steel mill, they used my grief to rope me in. Assholes.
Sorry.
But I imagine
About
that's
your
probably
partner.
not the case for the majority of cameos.
You should stay as far away from the Foundation as you can.
I can't.
What are you gonna do?
Still figuring that out.
Well, you didn't hear this from me. But I've got some family who I've been helping leave the Foundation. They don't know much, but they say something big's going down this week.
My friend Eric's a member. He might know more about it, but
He won't talk.
his Foundation-loving wife's got
Why
him by
don't
the
you lay out
balls.
3 options?
Sounds to me like he's soft. A few strong words, and he'd open right up.
Few strong words
Not
with
sure I
Eric?
want to piss off the only friend I got left.
Okay.
You could always play the heartstrings.
Or
You mean beg?
beg, play
Like
the
some kind of
heartstrings,
pathetic asshole.
lay out those
Well,
options, natural
when you
dialogue,
put it that way. You could always lie to him. Trick
or
him
you
into
could lie
telling
to
you.
him.
Like I said.
Like I said.
Sounds like he's soft.
3 options.
I gotta
Exactly.
hit the
No more, no less. And I feel indifferent about all 3. End scene.
Hello?
The show sucks. We're going to have, like, out of 11 hours, we're going to have maybe, like, 120 seconds of highlights. Like, particularly silly moments where it's like, oh, that's
Joy?
really funny or whatever. The rest is just like, ugh. Oh God, that's right. The Ice Hotel. How did I forget all about the Ice Hotel?
Another double?
What was so
Let's
scary
leave
about
it
those
alone.
pills? Those were the pills
can't do
that
that
his
in good
sister
conscience, friend.
was taking
What's happened now?
and was addicted to.
It's Astrid.
Before the Foundation was helping her to get
Thinks
sober.
I killed her mother.
How could you think that?
The
She
cult
betrayed me to the
roped her
police.
in.
And now
They basically
Haugen
wrote people in
threatened to
as like a
charge me with
self-help
murder.
group. That's what that cameo at the bar
Murder,
just
Leo.
explained.
I just know Haugen won't leave us alone until she's charged me with
I don't
murder.
blame anybody
Maybe
for
you
not
do need
absorbing
this.
any of the information that these characters say, because they couldn't say it any more flat and boring and uninteresting to the point where it's just impossible. That was one of the things the first month.
I think someone else did it.
Like, I felt like my brain was melting just watching these episodes day after day.
There was something on the farm that night.
Why is a Norwegian hotel in Pennsylvania? It's not. The story is taking place in 2 locations.
Immediately.
Right now, we are following the Johansen family in Norway. Meanwhile, in Hope's Junction, Pennsylvania, there's the Foundation, that whole thing.
She didn't know what to do.
She'd tell you to listen to your friend.
But right now, they are currently in Stildalen, Norway.
It deserves to be savored, not wasted on a wreck like me.
Don't let that Hogan intimidate you.
Hogan.
Just tell him the truth, and you'll be fine.
Hello?
Here's some more cameos. But the names have been removed. That's such crap. Go through all the trouble. Get lucky enough to get your name drawn. And then they don't even keep your name in the fucking show after it's all said and done.
Are you okay?
That stock sound for the door, that door squeak. I hear that in so many games and shows and movies.
It's getting worse. Have you decided who will be helping you perform the ritual?
I want Krista to do it.
Do we know if in the alternate version that they're starting up are cameos in those new scenes? Yes.
Rachel,
New
I'm
Game
not trying to
Plus
be
is a
asshole
whole
here,
nother,
Are you okay?
I don't know, however many months.
We don't agree on much, but maybe that's
They're
what we
they're
need.
basically running through the whole story
Sometimes a
again.
little friction can be
So
a good thing.
you can be a cameo again.
Fine.
And the story branches,
Now,
all the
if
choices
that's
that were
all,
made
I'd
the
like to
first
speak
time
to
around
Rachel
for like
alone.
what we're watching, all of those options are removed for the what if scenario. I keep calling it New Game Plus. They call it what if. So the what if scenario, all the original choices are removed. So you have to choose from one of the remaining choices, and it forces it to go down a different story branch.
Overcome a lot.
But it'll also replace all the cameos and all that shit. I don't care. I'm not doing it. I'm not interacting with this.
Good girl.
I'll watch it
Now then, tell me more about your daughter.
because it has Silent Hill in the title. And Jacob Navoke said you can watch this as a TV show when it's done. And now it's done, so now I'm watching it as a TV show. I know it seems like I'm not paying a whole lot of attention, but keep in mind, the first month I watched all of these episodes. This is probably like the 10th or 12th time I've seen
really were serious about
a lot of
keeping
these
her away
scenes, if not more.
Yes. And it will remain
Because
that
I
way
watched them and
until-
rewatched them for weekly recaps, and then the
Have you
monthly
thought about
recap
what
at
you're
the end
going
of
to tell
November
Detective Hogan about?
last year.
What happened to Mama?
Most of this,
I'm sure you have an opinion.
I think you know what I'm going to say.
You want me to confess to a crime?
most of
I
this we
didn't
already know
commit?
what's going on.
I want you to tell the truth.
And by know what's going on, I mean I'm familiar with the scenes that are shown.
Is she coming back home?
None of it makes sense to actually know what's going on.
She's still so angry.
At least not from what I
It
saw.
would mean a lot if you reached out.
Again, maybe I'll have a different
Don't you
opinion when I
listen
see
to me.
all of it.
She hates me almost as much as she hated Mama.
Somehow I doubt it.
It just makes me angry, you know? Her mother is dead, and her own father has to beg her to come home. Maybe I'll call just to give her a piece of my mind.
Please don't do that.
Yeah, I'll
We've
call
all
just
been
to give
through
her a
so
piece
much
of my mind.
I just wish she hadn't left us when she did. But I get why she did it.
Maybe tell her that. She would appreciate it.
I forgot about Silent Hill Ascension so quick. Do we know anything about the
probably think I
popularity
was
of the show?
patronizing her.
Was there a lot of people interacting with this crap? There's no exact metrics. If we go by what the developers say, there were millions of viewers between all of their platforms, between browser and mobile app. But considering, like, if you look through, for example, their Twitter account, if there was like millions of people watching and legitimately engaged with this, their Twitter account would probably, their posts would probably get more than like 2 or 3 likes. And the responses would usually be something more than Grandpa Simpson sleeping. But that's usually the only interactivity they got through that. Now, Twitter obviously is not a metric for everyone who might be into this or not into this or whatever, but I feel it's pretty telling when, like, that's the only interaction I was ever really seeing. Not to mention, even like diehard Silent Hill fans, if you go and look in like the Silent Hill subreddit, a lot of them didn't even know what this was or forgot completely about it. Like,
I wanted to talk to you.
Barely followed it, if at all. So even the most diehard of Silent Hill fans didn't give a shit about this, myself included.
Kind of meeting
which is why I stopped following it after the first month. Even making it through that whole first month was like
it has something to do with Joy.
all I could really stand.
Rachel's not good.
Because it's awful and it's completely unrelated to Silent Hill.
I'm not in a good place right now, and you're the only friend I got left.
So yeah, I have no idea. This is basically made for nobody. It pleases nobody, as far as I can tell.
Okay, but you gotta get some help, man. Rachel's not gonna want me hanging out with you anymore. There's this ritual they're asking Rachel to prepare for.
What kind of ritual?
They don't tell me much.
When is it?
Tomorrow night.
Thanks.
Wait, what are you gonna do? Toby! Toby!
Toby, no. My best friend Toby.
Rachel, the Foundation. This never-ending goddamn fog.
You see, guys, there's fog. Remember when Silent Hill invented fog?
Joy?
And random floating particles.
What's wrong?
Hey, look, subtle storytelling.
It's not like you've never seen this before.
Do you think Joy used to be a drug addict?
No. You were too drunk to even help me.
What do you want from me?
Do you think Toby has a drinking problem?
Justice. Blood.
But more importantly, based on what you know of these two characters so far, why should you care?
No surprise that we found puncture marks on your wife's body.
Like, that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest issue, especially when you're watching this as it aired, because as this aired, you didn't watch like a full episode like this. You had to tune in every day and watch this shit like a minute and a half at a time. So you'd wait fucking weeks to have what would equate to like a full episode. So this is, you know, episode 2, but that's compiling several weeks worth of these little clips and everything just to get to this point. And you just don't care about these characters. Even if it's going to be a bad, you know, it's not related to Silent Hill and anything like that, if they're just trying to like make this an enjoyable TV show, you know, just a narrative that you're supposed to be interested in, they keep introducing all of these aspects like, oh, Toby's got this drinking problem and his sister Joy died and she's tormenting him with all of this. I was a drug addict and you didn't help me. Ooh. And it's like, we've seen these characters for 8 seconds each. Why should we care? Why the fuck do we care about any of these people? They spend a whole episode, the whole first hour or whatever, trying to establish the locations and these characters, and they're all so fucking flat and two-dimensional, like boring ass characters that you just, how are you supposed to be invested in this?
The syringe Astrid turned over to us had traces of morphine. I spoke with Ingrid's doctor. She was never prescribed morphine. How did you get it, Carl? Did you steal it from the hospital? Your daughter's lab?
There was someone. Or
this was the audience decision
in the house that night.
For Carl to mention somebody's in the window.
Ingrid. They were...
These fairy tales again, Carl.
I don't know what I saw.
But it's completely unrelated to the question that she asked about the morphine.
I think you're lying. And the only people who...
And then Carl double backs on it at the end anyway and says, I don't know what I saw. So again, what's the point of the audience decision there?
Yes. We checked twice.
Mr. Johansson, you are free to go.
That's another common occurrence throughout this entire thing when it was airing live. Where the audience choices, even if you did see like a variation in the scene,
I'm free to go.
It's so minor and pointless. Like, the outcome doesn't matter. The choice itself does not matter. Like, oh, what's Carl going to tell the detective? Well, if the detective just thinks that he's lying, no matter what he says, then yeah, technically it's 3 different scenes where Carl says 3 different things. And they all end the same way, with the detective saying, I think you're full of shit. And then the other detective comes in and says, let him go. Because it couldn't end any other way.
About Mama?
So what are you actually influencing, other than one pointless bit of dialogue? A lot of the scenes, a lot of the choices are like that.
Stay where Mommy can see.
How's Papa doing?
Not good.
Orson is being consumed by fog.
He just kept talking about how it wasn't his fault.
So, just a regular day? Passing the blame?
Anyway, I wanted to talk to you about a few.
Oh, and this is Astrid talking on the phone to her sister, her younger sister, Britt.
I understand.
You do?
Mama was
Britt
terrible
apparently moved away
against you for escaping while you could.
and became a druggy alcoholic.
Like how I tried to drown myself in Boost and pills to forget.
Yeah, she drowns herself in Boost. Boost and pills.
3 months sober. I didn't escape anything, Astrid.
Even just little things like that. There's so many weird little mistakes in the dialogue.
I don't hold it against you for escaping while you could.
Escape?
She says boost.
Like how I tried to drown myself in Boost and pills to forget everything?
Boost and pills.
Like how I still want to reach for a bottle?
Can't do another take.
3 months sober.
Can't do another take, and the AI editor didn't catch that one.
And I'm sure as hell not coming back home to relive it.
Britt. Damn it.
Norwegian accent. L, that's not an accent. That's adding an entire other letter syllable that doesn't exist on the word booze.
What the hell is happening? Orson? Orson!
Not the pitchfork barbed wire fountain. It's the other world. Look, everyone. It's a Silent Hill phenomenon. Oh my god, repeated animation. Sliding across the ground and clipping into the ground.
You killed him.
Better it than us.
What?
Oh my god, here's the Smeagol
Where
run.
are we?
I forgot about Smeagol run.
Have you seen a little boy?
I've seen lots of things. Maybe one of them was a boy. Maybe not.
This cameo character just comes out of nowhere, kills this thing with a bat, And then she's gonna like scamper off into the
awesome.
darkness.
Maybe he knows where my son is.
How do you even know they're human? Here, take this.
I don't
And
like
hope you
weapons.
don't have to use it.
What? Am I supposed to club him over the head? What if he knows where my son is?
You can go right up and ask for all I care.
Here it is.
But I'd bring that if I were you.
And precious. That run animation when she runs off.
Are you coming home?
How many hours is this whole thing? About 10 and a half. And we are about an hour and a half in.
Just trying to reach out to you.
Where was that when I was in rehab, Papa? Look, maybe you can come visit me after the funeral. After things have calmed down. Papa? Are you there?
Yeah. I'll
This whole
call
time
you
been
later.
thinking something's missing from these episodes and just realized it was the stupid QTE game. Yeah, none of that was relevant to the story whatsoever. All of that was completely pointless.
What is that?
They don't even archive
I
it.
think something fed here.
You just rewatch the main episodes.
There's something out there. In the woods.
Did you see something, Eva?
You've seen it too.
Where did
Hey
you
Jake,
get that gun?
you're awesome.
I thought I should protect myself. I was hoping you'd show me how to use it.
Your mother would kill me if she found out.
Yeah, so
I should
this,
take
I
it
guess,
away
is
from
supposed to be foreshadowing
hasn't
about
seen what
Ava.
we've seen.
That she was
I'll think on it.
a public shooter.
I said I think on it.
Apparently
going
that's
home.
what happens later. Again, that's what I've heard from other people who've kept up with this. I haven't seen that far myself because I gave up on watching this a month in.
We are here to bear witness to our beloved sister Rachel, who has come to spill her blood, not just for those gathered here, but for the sake of all in this town.
The withering ends tonight.
A withering? Here?
Now,
Localized entirely in our church?
I still don't know why Joy died, but my doubts, my lack of faith, have put us all at risk. So tonight, I submit myself to the Purifier's cleansing judgment.
Are you ready to begin?
Yes.
You know what happens if the Purifier judges you unfavorably?
I do.
He purifies me?
Then who have you chosen to perform the ritual?
Kinda sounds like what he would do.
I ask my fellow acolyte, Krista.
This was an audience choice. Audience voted for Krista to be the one who stabs Rachel with his ritual or cuts her.
I hoped it would be me.
Oh my god, the Molotov cocktail! That animation is still so fucking bad. And everyone's reaction, like everyone is just in like a neutral idol pose, standing around. And then they just tell him to go home. Xavier is like, make sure he gets home safely. He just tried to fucking murder all of you. Sorry, and I also have to emphasize there's so much when you're watching this as a TV show that if you're watching it live, the live experience was much more different because you also had pre-shows with the developers on certain days. And the day that this episode clip aired, there was a developer pre-show where they were talking about Toby, specifically the character Toby. and they were like, everyone who's watching loves Toby. Everyone tells us how much they love Toby because Toby is the most relatable everyman character out of everybody so far. And then we watch the episode where he kicks in the door to a church and throws a Molotov in, where supposedly his best friend and his best friend's wife are. And later on, after this event, after throwing the Molotov and trying to kill all of them, they still act like he is friends with the character Eric. This show is insane. It is nonsense.
Xavier? What's happening?
Eric?
What is that?
Judgment.
Oh yeah, in the first month, they never really explained who the fuck this guy is supposed to be. His name is Zane.
Why are you following me?
And
Hey.
there's his voice.
Are you okay?
The voice actor for Zane is like the only real notable voice actor for this entire thing.
Is this your
The
son?
Griffin
He says you're his
Poitou.
mother.
Griffin Poitou was the voice actor for Zane.
I found him wandering by the docks an hour ago.
An hour?
Uh,
He was just
I
here.
know them
You didn't
as
even know he
Bosch
was missing?
from
There
Street
was
Fighter 6 World
A
Tour
man in
Mode.
the fog.
You're a Johansson.
But they've also
aren't you?
done a ton of other video
know
games
about
and
you
anime
and your
and stuff
family.
like that. So, whereas
called
most of the
child
other
services.
actors,
Wait, what?
other than that
You
character,
were gone a
are
while.
relative amateurs. Most of them have only like one or two things
No, Angel.
as far as like
I'm not
IMDb
mad.
credits and stuff go.
Anyway, I'm sure they'll contact you.
Is
Give
that a
your
mustache?
families
It sure is. This
history.
winds up becoming a
I
trend
suggest
because
you tell them what they need to
people
hear.
realized you can get your cameo character in the show, right?
That's
So
okay,
a lot of
Angel.
people
I'll
by
get
this
you a new
point
one.
were
Are
just
they gonna come take
continuing
me
to
away?
interact with
No,
Ascension
sweetheart.
basically just to
I will
troll it.
never let that happen.
So there was a lot of people trying to make trolly-looking avatars, silly-looking avatars, in order to get them cameoed into the show. So you see that a lot. You'll see like female avatars, or female-presenting avatars with facial hair and all sorts of weird combinations and stuff. As far just to make the scene as like distracting as possible.
Rachel! Rachel! Are you okay? You were screaming.
Is this a new Silent Hill movie? No. This is Silent Hill Ascension. This was an interactive TV series that premiered last year.
No, baby.
It just ended a couple days ago, so now we're marathoning all of it.
What the fuck, Toby? You almost killed us, man! You have no idea what happened here, do you?
Yeah, what the fuck, Toby?
I knew that some fucked up shit was happening in here.
Remember,
But
to
so
Eric's
many
perspective,
monsters and
like,
shit?
Eric didn't see the
I'm not
monsters
gonna
and
be
shit,
quiet about it.
supposedly.
No one will believe you.
We'll see about that.
Make sure he leaves
So
the
he-
property.
Make sure he leaves the property. That's it.
He saw it too.
We all
Guy runs in, throws a Molotov
I warned you
cocktail,
about her, Xavier. I knew this would
endangers you, endangers your wife, endangers your
really
whole
still
fucking
defending her?
church, whatever,
everything we just-
congregation,
enough.
cult.
Rachel was right. Clearly, we've missed
And he's
something.
like, make sure he leaves the property.
Yet we cannot deny what we've seen tonight.
It's fine.
Go home.
The cameo character ran in with a fire extinguisher.
we will
It's
stop
fine.
this.
A monster just ate a random cult member. Like, one of the cameo cult members is just gone now
You all saw
because
that
that monster showed up and ate them.
And let's not forget that lunatic who
And
fucking
everyone's
firebombed
just sort of standing around.
That's enough. The withering has spread
A
to
man
us.
threw a Molotov
The blight
cocktail
has
and
to
a
be
monster
stopped.
appeared and
And
ate
what about
someone, and
Rachel?
everyone's just kind
Is
of
she
like,
blighted now too?
oh,
Rachel has been
put
chosen
the
by
fire out.
purifier.
Tell that
She-
guy to go
I
home.
don't believe this.
The source of the withering has yet to be found. Until then, we must remain united, vigilant.
And what about Toby? Whether we like it or not, he's in this now too.
Toby will continue to complicate things.
Yeah.
He should be dealt with first.
Yeah.
Kept on a
So
tight
why did
leash.
you keep him on a tight
Me
leash?
and Eric
The
are
first thing you
friends.
fucking did was send him
Get him to
home.
talk to Toby. Get him to
The
back
first
down
thing
and
you
lay
did
low.
was send him away.
Good. Use their friendship to get him to see reason.
No, Toby is unpredictable. He's captive to his emotions. We need to keep him calm. Humor him.
Am I the only one who was paying attention? Toby thinks we summoned a monster that we can control.
Yeah, don't forget, Toby and Eric are
We can
friends.
use
They're
that.
still friends, even after the Molotov.
I'll talk to Eric.
We've all got friends like that, you know? Sometimes they fuck around, they drink a little too much, they throw a Molotov cocktail into your house every once in a while. But, you know, they're your friends. You've known them for that, you know, so long.
You really messed up this time.
A lot of history there. You just forgive that shit.
Sorelli. It's not my fault.
You just forgive
You didn't see it.
arson.
Always running, always numbing. You can't keep running, Toby. It's your fault. All of it. Me. The mill.
It's not my fault!
Hey, do I gotta call the cops? I'm sure they'd love to get the call. Finally put you away after that shit you pulled at the mill. Yeah, you think I forgot about that?
Oh.
You think this town's forgotten?
Look,
Yeah, I
I'm
forgot about
trying
the
to make it
AI.
right.
You
The
wanna make
AI
things
dialogue.
right? Make peace with your past?
You think I forgot
Start
about
by
that?
taking responsibility. Apologize.
It sounds
to the
very
people you
robotic
hurt.
when she says forgot.
Apologize. They should be saying sorry to me. Anything goes
Like it's
wrong
two
in this
syllables
town,
from
so is
different
Toby
words that
fucking
just got like
Sorelli.
edited in.
Even when I'm doing something right, it's wrong.
You think what you did at the mill was right?
I'm done being this town's whipping boy. I'll make peace with my past by doing
Guess how
what I
many
always did.
episodes they're gonna
Telling it
vaguely
to
talk
fuck
about the
off.
mill for.
Is that their grave?
Yes, no
Found
hop
another
in.
one of those piles. Felt like I should give it a proper burial.
What do you think did this? I found a dead rabbit once. It was gutted head to toe. I didn't even recognize it, just matted fur and flesh.
Yeah, Eva's here just to say
So I
weird
scooped
shit
it up.
and be creepy.
Took it home to study. Mama was very angry with me.
The problem is the rest of the dialogue is already so weird anyway.
The people around here
Like,
don't like my family.
It doesn't. It still stands
This won't
out
be the first
that
time
you're supposed to pick up. Like, obviously, there's something
Why
wrong
are
with
they angry
this
with you?
character, with Ava.
It's getting dark. You should go home.
But it's
I don't
not
think it's
as
safe out here.
weird
you'll
as
teach me to
as I
shoot?
think. It's more than what they intended,
But you said it's not safe.
but everyone else
Ava,
also sounds weird.
Get behind me.
You could argue there's similar things like that with the original Silent Hill games voice acting, where things both intentionally and unintentionally sound weird.
Eva, no!
But generally, Ascension's performances overall are just bad.
I missed.
Go home, Eva.
But
I said go home.
Also, the standards for voice acting for something that was made like this year or last year compared to something that was made in like, 25 years ago. A little different.
Toby.
What do you want from me?
Answers.
Is this the scene where the gun teleports to Ava? Yeah.
I tried
But
that,
again, if she's
remember?
supposed to be some kind of a weird ghost guilt monster thing,
Look, I'm sorry. For everything. I was a shitty brother. I know that. I can't change what I did.
Is that just the voice cast? Thank you, Barack Otto.
I'm asking you to forgive me. Can't that be enough? Joy?
Yeah, you can see the Bugai children as the two kids there. Zane Bugai. And Stephen Bugai's son is named Zane, and the main, like, character... Sorry, there's all this weird shit going on right now. Look at... She looks like she's got her head up her ass.
Stay away from me! Stay away from me!
Like, Ava, the framing, it looked like Ava's head was just up Rachel's ass. It's so weird because they go from for some interesting good-looking animation to really plastic-looking dolls. The majority of the animations look bad. The issue is some of the facial textures and stuff aren't terrible. So when they're framed a certain way and when the lighting hits it just right, like there's times where it looks all right. It looks at least on par with like something like Until Dawn almost.
Stories about us, but I find openness
Kind
and
of
kindness
that
yield
level
the
of
best
quality.
results.
But then
Now,
when
can
they
you
pull
talk to me
back
about what happened
and
when
you
lost
see
track of your son?
the animations like overall,
I turned
they're
around for a
really
second and he
bad.
was gone.
They're really jarring.
The fog was
And
really
especially
thick
if
that
you're really obsessive about that kind of stuff
There
with
is
me,
an
like
awful
I
lot of
am.
fog in this town.
I
had
went
some
back
trouble with it
through and
myself today.
edited videos
I'll
and stuff for
consider
this
that in my
to put them up
report,
on
but
YouTube. So I
that's
was
no excuse going
seeing a lot
forward.
of it frame by
But you need
frame
to
and
keep a closer
analyzing a
eye
lot
on
of
the
it frame by
child.
frame. And when you go frame by frame and look at a lot of the
about the person
animations,
who reported the
there's
incident.
so much weird, like
They said you were hiding.
stretching
away
and
from the
morphing of the models in
Why
really
was that?
unnatural ways when they move and when they walk. Their
Obviously,
feet sort
that's
of
ridiculous.
bend and
I was
snap
looking for
in
it.
weird ways.
hiding?
Hands bend
Well,
and snap
no,
in weird
I-
ways. Like
May I meet
it seems like the models and the
Of
animation, like so the way
Orson?
3D models typically
Can you come
work
here,
is you've
Angel?
got the model itself, but then you have a rig, like a skeleton that the model is applied
It's
to
nice
in
to
order
meet
to make
you,
it
Orson.
animate. And if
I'm
the
Aurora.
skeleton and the model
I lost my bow.
don't match
Uh-oh.
exactly,
Well,
it'll
where could
make
it be?
animations
to
look
Zane.
weird.
But
And
he
that's what
lost
this
it.
feels like. It feels
That's his
like they
imaginary
had
friend.
behavior
now I don't
make
have
the
anything
models
to play with.
and then
Orson, you have
Senscape
plenty of
animate
toys.
them.
He really
And the skeletons that
wanted to share
Senscape
with
made
Zane.
didn't
Well,
fit
that
the
is
models
a
that
very
behavior
nice thing to
gave
do.
them. So you get all these really
Orson, why don't you play
weird
close by
things
while
where stuff
Aurora and
doesn't
I
like
finish chatting?
line up.
Obviously, the Bonavana takes child
You
neglect
really
seriously.
notice it with walking.
But
Walking
I'm
is one of the
not
big
interested
ones.
in
The
removing a
feet
child unless
snap
absolutely
around
necessary.
I
and
did
look
not
weird,
neglect my child.
and the
I'd
character
like to
models
set
sort of
a
look
few
like
more
they're
meetings
sliding
to
across the
confirm things
ground.
have settled
That's an
down
issue
for
with
you two.
animation timing.
Maybe you can start with a gesture to
This
show
is
that
all
his
basic
needs are
stuff.
important
This
to
is
you.
this is stuff that
He
like
mentioned
even
wanting a new
indie
toy.
developers, like one man
He's always
game
been drawn to
studios,
my
have
childhood
made
dolls.
better shit than this.
My mother ridiculed him for it, but I suppose with her gone, there's no harm in it.
He has to have some nice memories of her. Maybe a doll that helps him remember her fondly.
He's close with my father. Maybe a little hunter.
Oh, so
Though
this
I
is the
never
doll.
liked having him around guns, even toys.
I understand you're a scientist? That's a wonderful thing for a child
So
to aspire to.
this was
I try not to smother him.
another awkward set of dialogue where someone lays out three choices. Get Orson a new toy. You should get him a doll that looks like a hunter, a doll that looks like a scientist, or a doll that looks like grandma. You know? And they lay it all out like this. So when that choice was still being voted for, when they aired all of this live, there was like a thumbnail for the next week's episode or the next day's episode where it showed the hunter doll in Orson's hand. So this hadn't been voted for yet. It could have potentially, supposedly, been any one of those three dolls that won. And the vote for the doll was really close. And by really close, I mean a completely different doll was winning. I think the scientist doll was winning. And then at the last second, 20 minutes before the episode block went live, suddenly the hunter vote caught up and won, so that the outcome matched the thumbnail that was shown before the choice was finished being voted on. So again, it's it's technically still speculation, but this is, for all intents and purposes, rigged.
Him with my influence. Bad memories from my mother.
But this was one of those choices where it was really obvious
Until then,
that there's some sort of manipulation going on. That they're showing a thumbnail for a choice, spoiling a choice that hadn't even been made yet.
Good to be home, huh? So are we ever gonna talk about what happened the other night?
How did Toby know about the ritual?
Mommy, you're home!
Hi, sweetie.
I was scared today, but then I remembered the girl in the stone castle.
That's good, honey. Remember, the purifier keeps us safe.
Really?
Go get your PJs on. I'll be in soon.
Okay.
Okay.
He begged me, Rach. He's in a really bad place. I had to tell him something.
That's exactly what makes him dangerous. He's taking advantage of you, Eric, playing off your empathy.
Because you're such good friends.
Seems so desperate.
He threw a Molotov cocktail at
When we
you.
all first met, how we were all friends.
How?
Maybe a part of me was hoping we could go back to that.
You
Do
know
you
that's
just
never
look
going
past
to
that?
happen.
Yeah.
He wanted to burn you and your wife to
I
death.
swear, one day you'll let someone pull on your heartstrings so hard they'll rip your whole heart out. I need you to talk to Toby.
About what?
Get him to back down. Try to reason with him. Tell him he's going to end up hurting a lot of innocent people.
Hey, Punchy. This is the most you've ever watched of Ascension in one sitting,
Don't
and
try.
absolutely believe
Do
this
it.
is AI.
People are depending
It's
on
hard to believe that it's not.
Okay.
And don't tell him any more stuff about us.
Jacob Navoke
About
went
the
on record
Foundation.
saying that none of the
You
writing,
can't trust him.
none of the writing was AI generated. That was all he addressed specifically. But, man. The dialogue flow is completely insane. It's just nonsensical.
Finally writing that
Straight up
novel?
nonsensical at times.
Something like
Oh,
that.
this was one of the cameos that changed.
What the hell?
So on top of them removing the names, one of the whole big draws, whole big gimmicks of this when it was airing live with the interactivity stuff was that you can make your own custom avatar and have them cameo in an episode. So when this originally aired live, this was a completely different character and character model. And then I had to go back and check my stream VOD from when it aired to see that this was a different character. And then they swapped it out for a different model for the recap for the VOD or whatever. So not only do they take your name out, even if your character gets to be a cameo, they would just straight up remove certain cameos and replace them with other random models.
How is this?
My testimony.
So one of the biggest draws of interactivity, making your own character and showing up in the series,
Nobody wants your
was
crazy
also
napkin story,
rigged
Sorelli.
FBI was interested.
and
Next one's on
pointless
me.
because they could just remove you afterwards.
About what? How your wife's cult killed my sister? Or that crazy shit they conjured?
I know you're in pain, man. But going after the Foundation isn't gonna bring your sister back. If you keep this up, more people are gonna get hurt. Innocent people.
You're talking to a man who threw a
anyone in the
Molotov
Foundation
cocktail
gets
into
hurt?
your church less than 24
You want my
hours
little girl
ago.
caught up in all this, Toby?
You know, for a minute there, you had me going, Hernandez. But words are coming out of your mouth, and all I hear is Rachel.
They're the words of someone who wants to protect his friend.
How did your avatar get a cameo? You bought tickets with influence points, and you buy influence points with real dollars.
Is it?
Real monies.
Or is that what your bitch of a wife tells you while she's got your balls
Or
in
you
a
save
vice?
them up by
All
playing
this
Candy
coming from the
Crush
friend who
for
played off my sympathy and begged me to betray
80
my
hours.
wife?
Wake the fuck up, man! The Foundation's crazy shit is out now. I'm gonna make sure of it. And when things finally go down, I
Yeah,
don't
that's
want
why
you
we
caught
have
up in
scam
it.
points.
Yeah, thanks for the concern.
I mean it, Eric. You gotta wake up, man. They're gonna get you and your kid killed.
Or you make a ton of accounts and
you
get some
can't
free
see
points
that,
on each. Yeah,
I'll
that's what
make you
Tassadul did. Tassadul managed to get a character cameo by making like a dozen different accounts.
I want you to recruit
and
Toby.
just
Into the Foundation?
dumping a whole bunch of points.
You want him here,
all the free
after
points they give you at
everything he
first
did?
What
for
I
making a
want
new
is for you
account.
to have faith in me.
What could I even say to convince him?
He's seen the Withering too. Convince him the Foundation can offer him protection.
He thinks we're the cause.
Then use his paranoia to your advantage. Feed it. Show him we can wield more than just words.
Wouldn't that just drive him away?
He thinks you've wronged him. Maybe if you showed remorse for Joy's death, he'd be more amenable.
Let me lay out options for how
don't
you
know,
could
Xavier.
try to make amends with
This
Toby.
doesn't feel right.
I'm not asking. I'm telling you.
Okay, sure.
I'm telling you, you have to go interact with him.
Don't mention
But
this
I'm
to
leaving it
Barbara.
up to the audience to
For now,
vote
at
on
least.
how you interact with him. This was another example of like voting not mattering. So even if you assume that the points actually functioned the way that they were supposed to, and the audience gets to realistically determine what choice the story will, you know, have in order to see an outcome, the choice for like how Rachel interacts with Toby to try to make amends, the audience voted for her to apologize to him. And then when the scene actually happens, she apologizes in a completely sarcastic, like not sincere way, which is not what the vote implied. So even when you're voting for a choice, even if the points actually worked the way that they're supposed to, the outcome is deceptive. Because it's like, yeah, you voted on her to apologize, but they're not going to have her do it sincerely because they need the scene to play out a certain way. Void of Red, thank you so much for the full year, 12 months. Thank you very much.
Men fan. What now?
See, now this is supposed to all be foreshadowing for Ava shooting the gun in the distance.
Eva, stop this!
Also, there was no muzzle flash or anything
you
there.
won't do it, I'll teach myself.
Eva, stop!
You don't know what it's like to be scared all of the time.
I do know. More than you think. I'll teach you. Now, take a deep breath. Good. Now exhale. Slow.
Look at that exhale.
Now go on.
Look at that exhale
Squeeze the
animation while her lips are completely closed.
Good.
You clearly hear her breathing out of her mouth.
The key is to aim for vital organs, like the head or the heart. One shot, one kill. But that will take some practice.
Can I go again?
It's getting late. You should head home. Oh, and don't tell your mother.
Thank you.
Fan i helvete.
Now we have to introduce Carl's wife's twin sister. We're going full soap opera now.
Please, don't shoot.
Mette?
I'm sorry about the window. I thought you still had a spare key by there. Could you...
Oh.
Wasn't she in his mind and not real? I vaguely remember that from months ago when you covered.
Of course.
That was my theory at the time.
I'm a bit out of
In the
sorts.
first month,
Tell
they
me
didn't
everything.
fully reveal what Ava was supposed to be. Now I've heard that she is supposed to be like Carl's oldest daughter who did a public shooting, killed a bunch of people, and then Astrid killed her and burned her body. And now she's haunting the farmhouse or whatever. But I never watched that far. I'm going off of what I've heard from other people. So we'll find out. We're watching all of it tonight, whatever. We still have like 8.5 more hours to go.
Where are we going, Mama?
We are gonna have the best day ever.
We are not having the best day ever.
I know it's been tough. Losing your grandma. And I know you were scared when you couldn't find me the other day.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
we're going to have a great day today.
Tiny man.
We're going
Yeah,
to
the
take
children,
bus
the
over to
proportions for
Serbia
the children look
and
very
go
weird.
get
Look at this
ice cream.
animations.
But first,
Yeah.
a present. A new friend. And look,
There's your little
I
hunter.
made him a hunter, just like Grandpa. You can track rabbits with him.
Does he shoot the rabbits?
I think
He murders
just
the shit
likes
out
to
of the
watch them
rabbits.
play.
Bang, bang, bang. You're dead.
Okay, Orson.
Can the show
that's
actually be
enough.
something good from story scenario
Okay.
perspective aside from all the
What do you
interactive
say we go
scum?
get that ice cream?
That's
Okay.
why I'm watching it. Oh my god,
Bus
that
should be here in a
animation.
few minutes. We better get
That's why we're watching it, Techno Jester. Now that it's all done, there's no interactivity. We're just sitting back and watching beginning to end, judging it as
Come on,
as a
Orson.
narrative, as a story, as a scenario, as a
Everything's okay, Angel.
TV series.
Come on. The bus is
And
right over here.
yeah, it's still bad. Still fucking bad. Of course, it's still bad. The interactivity isn't what made it bad. Look at the animation. Look at Orson, fucking T-posing, A-posing,
Come on, Orson.
completely non-moving,
Everything's okay, Angel. Come
while
on.
Astrid does this really awkward animation to pick him up.
I'm scared.
Look at this. Look, he's frozen in place,
It's okay.
awkwardly picks him up, his arms just sort of like snap up and clip through her neck and face.
It's okay.
It's not the interactivity that makes this bad. It's the fact that it's so fucking lazy. The writing, the animation, everything about it is so low quality. It is so fucking
I
bad.
know, Angel. But I need you to be a brave boy, okay?
It is just objectively not well crafted.
Whoever was here that night, they killed Ingrid. Not me.
I believe you. You're a good man. My sister was lucky to have you.
I believe you. You're a good man. Beep boop.
Look at that. I've been going on forever.
I'm just glad I'm still alive to listen. You could have killed me, you know.
I'm sorry. I haven't been myself lately.
Dating. Good
I haven't
man
scared you off.
detected.
I'm not going anywhere. Though I do need to figure out where I'm staying. When I heard the news, I sort of packed up and ran.
Unfortunately, we only have the one hotel in town.
And it's made of ice.
Yeah,
You
what's
know,
up with that?
I've got plenty of room here.
Why do you have an ice
I don't
hotel
want to
in this little tiny Norway
And I'm
village?
not
Why
sure
is it the
Astrid will be
only
comfortable with
hotel in this
I think
little
she's
tiny
still
Norway
angry with me.
village?
That was a long time ago. I'm sure she's over it by now.
Astrid's her mother's daughter, and my niece. We are notorious for our grudges.
Maybe you could.
She
stay
doesn't
with
want to
her.
impose, but she was breaking in. Yeah,
Heal
good
some old
point.
wounds. I
Didn't
don't
want to
think you met
impose.
Orson yet. He's
Just
very
wanted to
sweet.
break into the house.
No. I'm sure I can get used to the hotel. How cold could it be?
Listen, don't go checking in just yet. Let me think on this. There's no reason family should go sleeping in a hotel. We need each other. Now more than ever.
Yes, we do.
Do we, though? Meanwhile, at the laundromat in Pennsylvania.
Look, I got something I need to say.
Best
We've
friend.
been friends a long time. We've seen
Fucking
some shit.
You
Some
tried
of it
to
we
murder
caused.
him.
Rachel.
Sorry.
She's
It's
using
been
you,
several
man.
months.
You're just another
and
rock she'll climb
I-
to get what she wants.
It's all just
But not
coming back
before
to
she
me.
gets you and your kid killed.
It's frustratingly bad.
I used to think Rachel was overreacting when she'd talk about you.
Eric.
But you'll just keep coming
Eric.
back. Keep talking shit about my wife, my family.
Keep throwing
If you're
fire
making me
bombs
choose,
in my church.
Can I choose Rachel?
He doesn't even mention that. He's more upset that he said mean things about his wife than trying to murder her with fire.
Fuck this town. I'm leaving.
Oh, is it time for They Look Like Monsters? It's time for They Look Like Monsters. Remember Silent Hill 3? Remember when Vincent said the They Look Like Monsters thing?
Wait. Didn't I
These
just
fucking
pass?
animations where he's just walking into scene. Just a walk animation, and everything looks so fucking awkward and weird.
What the hell? Hello?
Hey!
Hello?
Look at those idle animations.
Hello? Could you help me?
Everyone's
I don't know which way I'm
A-posing.
going.
Quiet. They'll hear you. Who are you? What are you doing here?
I don't know. You're Toby.
How do you know my name?
Hey! Hey!
Did he just teleport to that guy? Yeah, Zane has... I'm just a cameo? No, that's not a cameo. That's a main character. That is Zane, aka the Traveler or whatever.
Papa,
That's their
Hello,
biggest, most talented voice actor.
Mette.
Is
It's
the
good
person
to
playing
see
that
you.
character, that
What are
guy
you doing here?
who's barely
Paul
in the
invited
show
me
for the
to
entire
stay,
first month that I
just for a
watched it.
few nights.
You sure? I hear the hotel is very nice.
Actually, I remember your old room was very comfortable.
My room. Right. Well, let me help you with your bags.
What do you care? You have your own house.
Oh, that's not necessary.
Where is your child also? You just left a
I can take
nightmare
that.
world where Orson
This
went
is
missing.
nothing.
Now
I am
you're
a
just
nurse.
home again.
This is
Orson is
highly
nowhere to be
regulated.
found. You don't seem
Why would
concerned.
you carry this with you?
You know what it's like to work in a hospital.
This
Did you know
whole
one
show
day
feels
I
like just
somehow
having
came
a
home
stroke.
with a used scalpel?
Like,
Mama had traces
they
of
just
morphine
throw
in her system
story
when she
elements
died.
at you,
Yes,
and none of them
because
really
Carl had been
tie together.
administering it. She died
It's so
because
much
of her
more
illness.
obvious
I think
watching
Papa
it
should know
all
about this.
together in the condensed
But
episodes
why?
like this,
It will
without
just
all
make you
the
upset.
interactivity stuff kind of breaking it up.
Mette?
Astrid,
When you really sit down and
I
watch it
don't
as a
care
show,
for
it's
your
somehow
voice
even
right
worse.
now.
Astrid?
Because it
That
makes
you?
it so much more glaringly obvious how
here.
none of these scenes feel
Astrid's
like they
just
connect.
helping me with my bags.
What is Xavier thinking? Recruiting Toby?
Krista.
And why is he trusting Rachel of all people to do this? First Joy's death, now this? How could Xavier not see it?
See what?
That everything she touches turns to shit? What? Am I supposed to be embarrassed? It's true.
Xavier believes I can...
Xavier is lying to himself. What are you gonna do? Apologize to Toby?
Yes.
He doesn't trust you.
That's exactly
He's
what
not
she's gonna
start
do.
now.
And it
He's
works.
seen the withering, just like
Toby
us.
joins the church.
He'll realize we can protect him.
Protect him?
Chris
We
is
don't even
talking
know how
shit,
it's
but it
happening.
totally works.
And the others might buy Xavier's bullshit that you've been chosen by the Purifier, but I don't. You are going to fail. And when you do, the Foundation, this town, your family, they'll be gone, Rachel. The sooner I make Xavier and Barbara understand that, the better the shot we have at stopping all of this.
I'm trying to save everyone. Even you.
I've had enough of the whole savior
Doesn't
thing.
she try and seduce Toby later
When this
too?
is all over, you'll be
Krista,
thanking
I
me.
think, winds up
Don't
trying
count
to
on it.
seduce Toby and Eric. But I think all of them done. Whatever, we'll find out. Apparently, there's an orgy scene later. Hey, remember Silent Hill?
Yeah.
2 seconds of an
Hello?
Akira Yamaoka song as a ringtone. When a 2-second ringtone is your strongest connection to the original games. Tassadul!
Hey! Don't I know you?
Best character in the game right now. Tassadul.
I don't think so.
Tassadul, take a
You
bow
were Joy's
in chat.
dealer. She
This
told
is
me about
Tassadul's cameo character.
Look, I haven't seen her in months. Not since she joined the Foundation.
Yeah, we helped her get clean.
You're Rachel?
Yeah,
Toby talks about you sometimes.
Toby. I need to find him. Do you know where he is?
He doesn't like you very much. But he listens to me. He likes me.
Listen, I need Toby to do something for me. Would you help me talk to him? Fine. How much?
What?
Money.
Beg your
Use it to
pardon?
buy more drugs. Whatever you want. Just help me, please.
Getting high sometimes stops them from coming. Or maybe I just don't notice them. Blood. I need yours.
What?
Give me your blood.
For protection. From them.
This
Please.
never gets
Just a little.
resolved, as far
A
as I'm
drop.
aware.
And I'll help you.
Tassadul just shows up, talks about getting high, takes some blood.
Astrid? No Orson?
You know
Yeah, he
how
just
I
carries that empty vial around.
Is
Just
there
in case he
anything I
comes
can
across
do to
someone who's
help?
willing to give him
Yes.
some blood.
No,
I just missed the boy.
This is what I mean.
That's not my
That is
problem.
the most interesting
I hope you
character
slept okay
in
last
the
night.
entire show so far.
The house can creak.
Right? Like, we're in episode 3. This is like, what, 2.5 hours? 2 hours in? And out of everybody, out of every character that has been introduced so far, he's a drug dealer who sees the monsters and also apparently can do something with blood. Like, he talks about using blood for protection. That sounds like a blood mage. The drug dealer blood mage is a cameo character who shows up like twice and then never again.
Yes, the bed in Astrid's old room is very comfortable.
Yeah, I know.
Don't sulk, Astrid. Your teen years are far behind you. Perhaps we can all sit down for a big family dinner tonight.
Damn.
It's a shame Britt isn't
A
here.
fucked up way to
That sounds lovely.
say that she's old.
But,
But Meta has something to share with you first.
okay.
I found morphine in her purse. Just like what they found in Mama.
Who cares?
Surely you're not suggesting Meta had
The
anything to
detectives
do with
already
this.
told you the morphine
I'm
was
just telling you
unrelated.
what I saw, Papa. And I'm surprised she didn't already share it with you.
I explained this already to Astrid.
Then explain it to me. I insist.
The morphine thing goes nowhere as well. Meanwhile, at the Ice Hotel, bunch of cameo characters back there.
I hope my explanation for the morphine was enough for you.
Of course, Meta.
And then
I'm glad we could air that out.
And you could.
They make such a big fucking deal about the morphine. And then she explains it off camera. They just skip to the Ice Hotel. And it's like, well, that's my explanation.
Could look past Astrid's deliberate attempts to hurt me.
Fucking stupid.
Sorry. You don't deserve.
You don't have to write a story if you just have it happen off camera.
Sure.
Can't believe she's still angry with you.
That happened over a decade ago.
Just imply that things happen.
She doesn't want me here.
Well, I do.
Things will get better.
I missed the first bit. Is the story comprehensible at this point? No. This is still where I was watching, like, during the first month. We haven't gotten to, like, new episodes yet.
It's more isolated than I expected. I worry about you living there alone.
Well, I'm not alone now.
What's wrong?
I haven't mentioned this to Astrid.
You can tell me.
The night Ingrid died, I thought for sure I saw somebody up in our room.
But I thought the police said...
I know what they said.
Fuck the police.
But I also know what I saw. And whoever or whatever it is has been back. More than once. It killed some of my goats.
Probably wild animals. You could set some traps to catch them.
Oh my god.
And what if I catch Orson?
You could set traps or you could have runes. I forgot about the runes.
Things. And what if it's not an animal? Traps won't catch man. Astrid once told me to set up cameras on the farm, but I don't like the idea of turning it into some kind of prison.
Well, you know how I feel on the matter.
Okay, this is Leo.
Leo has suggested an...
This is Leo. And Leo, here's this. So there's weird sting things happening around the farm, right? And Carl is discussing with Meta how to deal with these strange occurrences. Dead piles of dead meat and something killing his goats. She suggests put up some traps for wild animals because he thinks that it's wolves. Leo the bartender walks over here and says, you know what I think? Anal jizz rune. I think magic anal jizz rune will solve the problem. And you know what? The audience votes for it. He uses the runes later. And it works? Question marks? I mean, we'll get there. You'll see. But this just like literally comes out of nowhere. Like Leo just walks up to the table while they're mid-conversation and says, why don't you try runes? Anal jizz runes.
Algis rune. For protection.
An algis?
Anal jizz?
Protection. Carl isn't dealing with animals or vandals. I think it's something else. Something much worse.
What makes you say that?
Because people talk. Especially to me. People been seeing things. Things they can't explain. So take my advice. Or not.
Take my advice or not. And then he just walks away.
I don't know what to believe anymore. But I do know a rune won't do a damn thing to scare off a wolf.
Neither will a camera.
Guess I'll have to figure something out before whatever.
Imagine fucking sitting in the lobby of a hotel, having a conversation with somebody, being like, man, I keep finding wild animal remains. And then someone just walks up to your table and is like, you should try runes.
In here.
Also, Rachel just gives this man blood.
Now
I mean,
take me to Toby.
It's Tassadul, so I would also trust Tassadul with my blood. But let's pretend you don't know Tassadul. Strange man just comes up and asks for blood, and she's just like, all right, sure.
And now this. I got nothing else to say to you, Rachel.
Toby, wait. Just hear her out.
Why the fuck should I do that?
She helped Joy get clean. She helped me. Maybe she can help you.
Fine.
Bye, Tassadul.
I think you should join us.
The best character is leaving the show. Bye.
The cult that murdered my sister.
There he
wants me to
goes.
join
What a
them.
legend.
What can I say to get you to join?
They never, ever revisit this character. They don't say what kind of drugs he was on, what kind of drugs he was dealing Toby, how long he knew Toby, what he was dealing Toby, what the blood was for. None of it. None of it.
That I'm an asshole?
Just not even
Fine,
discuss
I'll say it.
any
I'm
of
an
that.
Asshole.
That's it?
I'm demanding and controlling.
Most
and I
interesting
ruined your life.
character.
There. Satisfied?
Tassadul's cameo
Look,
character.
I can't change the things that have happened.
He
but
just
I'm
shows
trying
up.
to make it right.
We both know what happens when we work together. People die.
Yeah, the very sincere
Not this
apology
time.
from Rachel, who murdered
Not
this
anytime.
man's sister. Or at the very least is responsible for her death. And she's like, yeah, fine, I'm an asshole. I'm sorry. Your sister's dead. Get over it. Such a baby. Animation! Detective Hogan jump
Are you
scare.
following me? I need to speak with you.
Oh,
About what?
I heard about another twist that happens later in the story. Detective Hogan and Astrid become lovers, which is why she's stalking.
Olivia, what's going on?
There's been a mix-up at the morgue.
A mix-up?
I'm not joking.
My mother.
I haven't seen it yet, but again, I've heard from other people who keep up
I'm
with
not
it
sure she's there anymore.
that that's a plot point that happens later.
Lost my mother's body?
I'm sure it's just an administrative error.
You expect me to believe that?
It's not like she got up and walked away. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
That was uncalled for.
The number of people
They
who would love
lost
to humiliate my
Ingrid
family,
Johansson's
my
body.
mother, even in
Astrid's
death.
mother, who died
Your
in the
name
first
would be
episode.
high on the list.
I know how it looks, but I take the integrity of this job seriously.
So you screwed up, and you want me to just look the other way?
You have every right to be upset, but I wanted you to hear it from me. I'm not sure what happened, but give me a few days and I promise you we will get this sorted out.
What do I tell my father?
Tell him everything is fine.
Everything is not fine.
Tell him everything
It feels
is
like his
fine.
mind is hanging by a thread as it is.
Look, if you don't trust me, trust the department.
You think I'd tell him that?
Trust the people
After
who
everything you
lost
put
your
him through?
mother's corpse.
We don't have to be enemies, Astrid.
I'll think about it.
We don't have to be enemies.
I'll be in touch
We
soon.
could kiss. But what if we kiss?
No, not here, Joy. Please, just let me leave.
I was like you when I first came here. Desperate. They
Oh yeah,
used
and then
me,
Toby is just gonna join the church.
broke me.
He's just gonna join the
But
cult.
now you can make things right. Make them trust you. Think you really believe.
Yeah, this is where Krista is all like, "Oh, hey, Toby."
Break them.
Come on in.
It has to be done. They've hurt too many people, Toby.
I'll make everything right, Joy. I promise. I'll make them...
Toby? Did you want to come in?
But the animations are so bad. They're the like implied sort of like wink or whatever smirk that you're supposed to get from
Papa?
Krista just looks fucking awkward and weird because the animations are so jank.
Is everything all right, Astrid?
Wasn't one of the voice actors related to the devs or something? The kids, Orson and Faith,
Stay quiet about it.
the two main like child characters are the creative director Stephen Bugai's children.
Someone with the police did. The point is, we can't rely on them.
You know why, don't you? Because the police are working with the vandals. We're beset on all sides, Astrid.
We need to stay calm, be smart, and hopefully...
Astrid, you don't understand what I've been dealing with here.
Tell people.
It's a concerted effort to bring down this family. It's converging
Tell
on
people
this
what
one.
you're dealing
I need
with.
to make a stand.
That you're seeing these things. At this
I
point,
need to
you've
focus
both
on
seen
protecting the
things.
farm from whatever is out there.
Papa, I don't think you're dealing with anything more than vandals. We've had issues with harassment before.
I think this is different.
You think? But you don't know. Set up some cameras. Get some hard proof. You
No.
could catch whoever it is.
I choose runes.
Or whatever.
I don't need cameras or traps. Okay. I need to take a really quick bathroom break. So everybody gets a moment to refresh your brain. Take a short moment. I'll be right back.